Hey y'all, this is AL Think Madame, and this is a recap review for a new television series that I have been waiting for. I don't know if y'all heard of it or not, but I did, and I definitely had my ear to the street waiting on this to drop. But the name of the television series is Naomi. Now, the gist of it is that Naomi is a black female superhero. As of right now, she don't know that that's what's going on here, but it is what it is. So let me go ahead and get into it so I can tell y'all what it is. Should I look into it to read off to y'all the synopsis and all that good stuff? Hold on, let me see if I can do that real quick. Hold on. Okay, y'all. So Naomi, a cool, confident, comic book loving teenager, pursues her hidden destiny. When a supernatural event shakes her small hometown of Port Oswego, Naomi sets out to uncover its origins with a little help from her fiercely loyal best friend Annabelle. She also has the support of her adoptive. I didn't know that there was more. I thought it was all out. Adoptive, doting parents, veteran military officer Greg, and linguistics Jennifer. Yeah. After an encounter with Zumbando, though, I don't know how to say this man name. He is somebody that's on this show. I guess it's Zumbado. I don't forget how to say it. The mysterious owner of a used car lot leaves her shaken. Naomi turns to a tattoo shop owner, D, who becomes her reluctant mentor. While unraveling the mystery of herself, Naomi also navigates her high school friendships with both military kids and local townies, including ex-boyfriend and high school jock Nathan, Annabelle's longtime loyal boyfriend Jacob, proud townie Anthony, and fellow comic book enthusiast Lawrence. As Naomi journeys to the heights of the multiverse in search of answers, what she discovers challenges her beliefs about heroes. Okay, so this is a show that comes on the CW. When I tell y'all, the CW has been producing so much great content over the years that I have not caught up on if I used to watch it, or I haven't even began to watch, because y'all don't understand how many shows I watch actively and how many shows I legit want to watch that I haven't seen, and it's so infuriating. Like, I be trying to tell y'all be thinking that I'm joking. Like, I really could really be pushing out some content, and it's a lot of stuff that a lot of people do not do content on. A lot of good, amazing shows people around here don't be doing content on. Why? People be trying to come for me. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. I see you, Ava DuVernay. I see you, Ava DuVernay. She got her hands all up and through this, just in case you didn't know. I had to go ahead and throw that out there. So anyway, so as I already told y'all about Naomi, y'all already know what the layout is. Y'all already see that. Okay, so Naomi was late to this party. Everybody was wondering where she was, and it's like, she seems very popular, but she's a blurred, y'all. So I'm here for that. As I've already explained previously, a blurred is a black nerd. A black nerd. I am supposedly a blurred. I have been told on several occasions that I am a blurred and that I am weird. And it's not necessarily a terrible thing to be considered to be a blurred or weird. Yeah, I just think that there are levels to it, because there are some blurs that I just be looking at them like, I don't want no parts of you. Because some of these blurs find out that I like anime, even though I'm still in the early stages of it, considering how much I have not gotten through that I want to. They find out that I like anime and they set it off. And I'd be like, no. Like, they really like fall in love. And I'd be like, I just know certain references because I just started watching this series, or I caught up on the series. That don't mean I'm trying to be with you. Like, I cannot. So anyway, y'all. So she's at the party and she's like passing through everybody saying, hey girl, how you doing? Where you been? We've been waiting for you. It's like she's the life of the party. And it's like, typically you don't really see people who are clearly super duper smart and are nerdy and all of that, yet they are popular. You really don't see it like that. You really don't. Like, it's not on display like that. Almost everybody that was super popular at the schools I attended were dummies, class clowns, stuff like that. Like, if they were smart, they kept that under wraps because they didn't think that was cool. So anyway, there was a guy that at one point in time she dated. He rolled up on her because it was actually his party. And he was like, hey, how you doing? Whatever, whatever. And, they trying to be on good terms, even though she left him after 5 dates in. And he was here for her. So, she's very popular. Like, she is so popular that when she came in and was mingling and mixing with everybody, one person rolled up on her who had gone live. It was like, hey, y'all, Naomi's here. And like the people who were following his live know who she is because she runs the number 3 website in the world. The number 3 website, ma'am? You're a black female. You are not even 18 years old yet, y'all. She's 16 years old. Come on now. I was like, ma'am. Okay, y'all. And it's on Superman. Okay? I don't know if y'all know about Superman, but the gist of it is it's somebody who is not white in 99% of the cases whenever we've seen it on display. And his weakness is kryptonite. So he flies, he do all of this, he save people. Y'all know his, normal facade and all that is Clark Kent. And when he takes the glasses off, he becomes Superman. And somehow he could take the glasses off. And to them, he looks like a completely different person. Child, I don't look that different with my glasses off. I don't be understanding. As I was growing up watching stuff like this, I'm like, why is that people do this on Batman? They do this on Superman. Any superhero, they literally be like, oh, that's Clark Kent. Who is that? What? Child, I can't do it. I'm so tired of my spirit. But look, I did that for a reason because the glasses are going to be very important, at least to me, in this first episode. So just keep that in your memory bank. So anyway, this person really did a shout out. She was like, hey y'all, whatever. Thank y'all for people live for her. Like she has a website that is dedicated to all things Superman. Like she lives for Superman to the extent of her text message notification is the Superman, like a Superman entrance theme song or whatever. I was like, you done went all the way off. Like, you done went all the way off. Like, y'all, I understand. I understand because there have been moments that I have really lived for my football team, Alabama, to the point where I had that whole song on there as my ringtone. I was doing the most back in the day. I was really doing the most. But I've calmed down. But yeah, this heifer lived to the point of where she will stop everything she's doing if it has something to do with Superman. So anyway, the next morning she at the house, she in the kitchen. Now, before I read that synopsis and I watched the episode, I didn't know about her origin and all this stuff. So I'm thinking these are just her normal parents, okay? And these are just her parents. So I was like, oh, she mixed. Because the daddy white and the mama black, or she mixed or something or whatever. She light skinned. So I'm like, okay, because she's obviously darker skinned than both of them. But I'm like, oh, they mixed. Cool. But then later on, we find out that she was adopted. So anyway, he works for Uncle Sam in the military. And the mama, she work on the base too. As I already said, she's a linguistics into that. So, she rides a skateboard. She really wants her parents to get her a vehicle or something, even if it's a bucket. But in the meantime, they might as well go on ahead and accept the fact that she's going to be late everywhere if she got to keep on riding her skateboard. So I thought that it was so cool that they showed her riding through the city on her skateboard, y'all. So I have a cousin who, when we were younger, he and I are the same age. I'm like, what? I'm 7 months older than him. But he's the cousin that I've talked about every other blue moon who anything he wanted, he's ever gotten. He's gotten every single pair of Jordans that has come out originally. The Penny Hardaways. I had Stack Houses. He didn't want them after a month or two of wearing them. So I politely took them and wore them to school. If any of y'all from Montgomery, Alabama, back in the day, in the 7th grade, I went to Bellingrath Junior High School, and our colors were if you were in the 7th grade, I think you had to wear navy blue shirts and khaki pants. Other people had to wear red shirts. Other people had to wear yellow shirts. So my colors were navy blue. So that fit in well with me. I was here for it because them stack houses was red, white, and blue. So I had the stack houses, and they was big. But I didn't care because I'm like, yes, y'all. We grew up poor. We didn't have it. Like I was the queen of hand-me-downs. It was what it was. So I was here for all of that, y'all. So anyway, this particular cousin had a skateboard. I think he just wanted it because he thought it was cool at the time. Barely used it. Child, when I saw it, I tried to figure out how to ride on it, and I did. I learned a couple of little tricks. Child, I was going up and down they little street and things. Because I'm a country girl. They lived in the city. Like, they lived just inside of the city. Okay, so for those of y'all who live in Montgomery, they live on the south side of Montgomery. They live like right off of the boulevard. So they live in the city. They live in a regular community. That's all I'm gonna say, because that's a broad description of where they live. If I told y'all a certain area in particular, y'all would know exactly what I'm talking about if y'all from there. But anyway, they had a street, and it was a really friendly neighborhood. It's still very friendly. Everybody knows each other. It's everything. So I was able to go up and down the street on it. I lived for riding on the skateboard. It was so fun. Like, it's crazy that stuff like that, rollerblading and skating, it's great cardio. And I used to live for stuff like that. Like, my cousin ended up having a soccer ball at one point in time, and he wasn't even using it. And I'm like, what? And I learned how to use it, and I was doing that. And then we ended up playing soccer at school, and I was pretty good at that. And it's like, I was athletic to be fat, child. I was athletic to be fat, child. I lived. I'm talking about down to football, all of it, child. Y'all don't understand. I was doing all of it. I was really into basketball, though, but I digress. So anyway, I was here for her skateboard. They really showed how they were following her on the skateboard, going through places. Then she would like do a little trick and get it to come up to her hand, and she'd run up the steps, and then she'd throw it back down on the ground. And she just kept flipping the skateboard. I was like, I'm so here for this. Like, I don't know if she had a stunt double to do her part, but I was here for that. Because that brought me back to a part of my childhood when I actually was on the skateboard. So anyway, y'all, I digress. Let me calm down. So anyway, that was a great time in my preteens and early teens, y'all. So they ended up playing a song while she was skating, y'all, that's very popular on TikTok. All I know is it starts off with, "What you calling all that kind of living?" Y'all know that little song. And it's like when people do the videos, they'll like put the camera down on the ground, and then they'll act like they stomped the camera, and then they pick the camera back up, and they've changed clothes or whatever. It's that song. So I was like, oh, okay, look at y'all. So anyway, we find out that she's on the debate team. And while she's in the middle of a debate practice, she got these notifications like crazy. Like, everybody knows her. And like her best friend, Annabelle or somebody, was like, "What's going on, Naomi?" So this heifer like blacks out and was like, "I gotta go. Y'all can just take a break. I'll be back." Like, girl, you in the middle of practice. What are you talking about? This heifer left because she got notifications that Superman was in her city. So she was like, "Wait a minute, baby." Like, they told her the exact location and everything. Like, people had been putting up notifications like, "We see him. He over here, whatever." The heifer is on the way there. All of a sudden, she has this moment where she's like hearing stuff, and she gets weak, and then she passes out. But before she passes out, she looks up to the sky for whatever reason, and you can see, obviously, if you know about Superman, it's Superman zooming by in the sky. So I was like, what happened? Like, wait a minute. Okay, so then when she finally make it there, she done missed it. We see a car overturned. Like, she had to go around and interview everybody that was around. They were like, "Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. We saw Superman and this blue guy. He was fighting him and whatever. And I was just like, that's random for this to just happen in her town. As usual, random stuff be happening in these small towns that ain't nobody hardly heard of. And I just be like, baby, what is going on? And then when it is major, you know, those are the ones that usually make it into the movies. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, so like, she really went to interview everybody. Everybody just kept saying, "Oh my gosh, this was the best stunt ever." Like, at the end of their interviews with her. And I'm like, why everybody saying the best stunt ever? Like, everybody think this is a stunt. Everybody think that this is fake. Everybody think that all this stuff with Superman is just something that's fake that somebody is creating. Like, why? Okay. So anyway, So this heifer literally had, like I already told her, she literally has notification for her incoming text messages. That is Superman. Like, ma'am. So her folks are texting her about dinner, telling her she need to come home for dinner, whatever, whatever. So her comic book friend keeps blowing her up while she's at dinner, and her folks are like, you ain't supposed to have that at dinner, whatever, whatever. So they keep wanting to know if she know what's going on, what happened, and the fact that her site is blowing up. Because I already told y'all, this heifer is number 3 in the world. How are you number 3 in the world, ma'am? I'm here for it, and you black. Come on now. Okay, I know it's a fictional show, but I'm just, I was just rooting for this heifer. Like, yes. So anyway. So it became late, and she went back to the scene of the crime, if you will, and she was taking pictures, and she ended up noticing that all the cameras along that road had been disabled. And so she's like, okay, wait a minute, what's going on here? And she's trying to figure out why she feels off and what's going on with that. So she ended up meeting up with her ex and kind of explained to him what was all going on. And he ended up splicing together her interview because nothing was making sense. Like, parts that I guess other people, the people that she interviewed, all like had various moments that they saw from their point of view, obviously from when Superman was there and he was fighting some blue man. Child, he spliced it all together, and he was just like, wait, what? I mean, they were amazed by what was happening. So we actually saw the fight and how the car ended up flipped over and how everything became in the state that it was in once he spliced everything together. So, they were like, well, what do you want to do? Whatever, whatever. So it is what it is. So, she ended up seeing the tattoo owner, D. And so when they were talking, she noticed that in the video, he looked at looked at Superman as if he knew who he was. So she was like, why are you looking at him? One of them said, why are you looking at him? They're looking at each other like they know each other, or he was looking at him like he know him. Like, they look like they're familiar with one another. What's going on with that? Like, I was like, what is going on with that? So anyway, she ended up rolling on D. I guess he's the tattoo shop owner. Rolled up on him with the ex. And he randomly, like off rip, I don't even remember this man said, hey, how y'all doing or nothing. But off rip, he looked at this heifer and was like, March 14th. Then he said something to her like, oh, so you wear glasses now. So she was confused. Like, first of all, how do you know my adoption date? And why are you even mentioning the fact that I wear glasses now? And what do you even mean by that? I'm confused. Like, it's like, what are you talking about? Like, he really talking to her like he know this heifer. So they want to know what he know about the situation. At first, he wasn't trying to talk, but then he was like, look, it was me. And so they looking like, what you talking about is me. He said that he hired somebody to get a jetpack and cause a scene because there has not been very much business going on. So he wanted to create a publicity stunt. Child, I looked at that man like, you a lie. I looked right at that man like, you a lie. Because I ain't buying that excuse. They wasn't buying that excuse, and they were young. So I'm like, child, what is this lie for? So anyway, Naomi's parents allowed her to drive this particular day. It was like the next day, I guess. She had to do a debate in front of some dignitaries in the military or whatever that are affiliated with the military. And so they had to drop by the base first, and then they were going to go there. So this essentially was a whole lot going on the same day. This was going to be the first time she was being taught to drive. Cause like I keep telling y'all, she's 16 years old, and they're like, look, you deserve it. You have done so well, whatever, whatever. So she's learning how to drive. Well, she ends up getting to the debate, and during the debate, some more personnel pour into the auditorium where the debate is happening. So she kind of looking like, okay. So she in the middle literally of debating. Then she ends up having a whole nother dizzy spill after, of course, they asking her a question. And, she's normally on it. This heifer done passed out again. So when she comes to, everybody has been cleared out except her mama and them and like a select few other people. And they said they setting up an appointment or whatever because this is not the first time this has happened. So she told her family that this hasn't happened to her before. This has happened to her before. And it was when Superman came to town. And she's been feeling this way ever since. And then she was like, why I gotta wear these glasses? I feel like they make my sight worse. And so they were like, now you know that this is a situation that, you're supposed to wear them because of this eye condition that you have, whatever, whatever. Like, you know why. And so they really try to play that role like they don't know what it is. I can't wait until I figure out what these folks up to, because they know something. They might not know the whole situation. They know something though. So anyway, while they were still in the auditorium, her folks had walked off. And so the best friend was like, yeah, now that they gone, when were you going to tell me that you driving out here? Because you 16 years old and I ain't got no job and you ain't got no job. But when were you going to tell me this? So she ignoring this heifer because it's a lot going on in front of her, like way in front of her, way off in the distance. And so some had her be like, and this heifer kept putting her glasses on and taking them off. Then she noticed that she was seeing what she needed to see, like seeing ridiculously good with her glasses off. This heifer saw a piece of paper that was like folded up like this in somebody's hand and saw the writing. And the writing said something to the effect of, Superman appeared in Red River Forest. A sighting of Superman happened, whatever. And she was like, oh my gosh, I see it. So the heifer didn't tell nobody. And I'm like, you have a ride or die best friend. Why wouldn't you tell her? But go off though. So she done went over here to the place. She done took her camera. She taking pictures of everything. Snapping pictures all along. Man, okay, so there is a person that she is not fond of. And as I told y'all before, it's a black dude and he owns this used car lot. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It starts with a Z or something. I don't know how to pronounce it. But he done rolled up on her while she was walking through the forest. And so it's like, okay, wait a minute. She don't like him because her and anybody who knows people like him, how they do stuff, they take advantage of the military folks. They'll have stuff at ridiculous prices and it ain't great quality. And it just feel like they be trying them. So it's like they don't respect them. And like when they was walking by at one point in time, like this man really was looking at them like he really was doing the most. I'm like, why you? Like, I mean, I know why, before even getting to that part, it was obvious as to why, because I'm into certain comic things that have been turned into movies and TV shows that I've seen. I've seen more TV shows and movies than I've read comics. So I'm already aware of the, situation that obviously is going on. So he looking at them like, And I'm like, child. So anyway, he done popped up. Why you roll up in the forest, sir? So anyway, she trying to figure out what he doing there. She done took her glasses off because before he got there was something that she saw. So she looked at it and there is this like disc. Like when I say disc, it's like if I had to give a quick example of just what it could mean or what it could look like. If you envisioned a dumbbell that's like the size of this. And that just so happened to be sitting there from one of my candles. But it really was like really, really small, but it's like a dumbbell. And it had like, I think foreign etching and stuff in it. Yeah, if y'all know about comics and stuff, they be having all kinds of stuff that's in other languages on there that means stuff. This man rolled up on her and was like, yeah, hand over the disc. She like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. He was like, look, there are people who are like us, and when you realize what's going on, you going like he really was talking in riddles, and she over here looking like, I don't know what you're talking about. She was like, I'm tired of my spirit, and she ended up running away from him. All the leaves, because it's like wintertime, I guess. Well, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. Typically, when they do stuff like this, these shows, it be wintertime. I mean, like fall. So they in a forest, and so all these leaves just spiral all around her, creating this whimsical moment. She ain't even realizing that she is the cause of this. She trying to tell him that he need to stay away from her because she had already confronted him and was like, you're the one who disabled the cameras, weren't you? He never confirmed or denied, but I mean, it was obvious. So it's like, child, you doing the most. Like he straight up asked her, like, out of all the comic book characters in the world, why would you choose him? So she was quick on her feet and she was like, he was adopted just like I was. And he was just like, okay, but I don't think he really believed her like that. But he told her, you need to run me that disc. Because she was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. And started running. And he rolled up on her and had a few more moments where he was talking to her. And then, like, she was, like, pushed back. And he was like, what makes you think I was the one who did that to you? Not realizing that she told him to get away from her or something like that. And she ended up being blown back. And he was just standing there. Like, you would think either she did it and didn't realize she was doing it, or he did it without any sleight of hand and all this other stuff to let you know, like, it might have been mind control. I don't know. But it was her, y'all. She don't even know it was her. So anyway, a bunch of her friends and an ex showed up to help her break into his shop because she was like, I need y'all help. The best friend already mad at her because she rolled up on her best friend after the fact. Her best friend tried to call her while she was out there initially before she started walking for real and taking pictures, and he rolled up on her. And she didn't have cell service. He was like, yeah, the service is bad out here, right? So anyway, after the fact, the best friend chewed her out and was like, first of all, you went out there by yourself. You know you wrong. Why would you do that? Whatever, whatever. Like Annabelle or whatever her name is be setting it up. But she was like, you know you shouldn't have did that, whatever, whatever. So she was like, what do you want us to do? What do you think we can do? So she assembled everybody. And that night, they all went to go break into that man's shop. And so, you know, some people were being lookouts and whatever. So they had somebody who was pickpocketing and, you know, I guess they, know how to pick lock. They had pick locks. The girl done unlocked the door. And I mean, it probably was easy to do anyway because it was an old style door. It ain't like how a lot of these businesses have their doors. So I understand. So they done broke in the door and they looking for the disc. They don't see it. But Naomi sees this old newspaper. It was like a whole newspaper. And I guess the front news on her adoption date, it had something like an unidentified object flew over Port Oswego, which is where they live right now. And he showed up and they ended up telling him that he's there and he, opened his gate and then he drove his car like to the back or whatever and they ran and split up just in case he saw him. So anyway, she ended up going back to the tattoo dude by herself that night, if I'm not mistaken. And so they by themselves and he was just like, yeah, I was there the day that you got adopted. And she ended up saying, I heard some buzzing and all this other stuff. Like, for whatever reason, she felt compelled to tell this man stuff that was going on with her. So he was like, wait a minute, go back to when you said you heard buzzing. She was like, I heard buzzing. And it's like nobody else heard it. But I heard it, I got weak, and then I passed out. And that happened to me when Superman came this last time. And that just happened to me recently when I was doing my debate or whatever. So for whatever reason, this man was like, you're asking the wrong question. He keeps telling her anytime they talk that she's not asking the right questions. And I'm like, well, dang. What is we talking about? What she got to ask then, sir? This man proceeded to produce metal wings out of his back. I was like, excuse me. You are not the Winter Soldier Falcon. This is not Falcon and Winter Soldier. What is going on? What is going on here? He produced metal wings, like big old massive span wings. And I was like, you done went off. I don't know who he's supposed to be, but they done did the most. Okay. So since the helper kept asking the wrong questions, it finally dawned on her for her to ask, who am I? I was like, oh my gosh, wait. Anyway, y'all, that was the episode. I think that it is a great show to watch. Like I said, it's on CW. Look, I appreciate y'all for dropping by. Thank you so much. Subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Please give this video a thumbs up because it supposedly does something for the algorithm. Let's get down in the comment section and discuss this. Like, are y'all blurs or are y'all nerds? Because I know that there are people who are not just black who watch my channel. Are y'all into any of these movies and TV shows that are about comic book characters and all that? Did y'all grow up watching any of the ones that turn into cartoons and that are movies or regular live action TV shows? Y'all, look, I want to talk about it down in the comment section. I'm very excited for the next episode to air. Anyway, y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all later on. Bye.